Hey, you know what time it is? It's One Piece time. Join me as once again we look at Volume 3 of that great pirate series, and we see some interesting things that newcomers may not see. Let's have a look at it right now, shall we? Hello and welcome to That Man. This is some manga, and yes, once again we are on that One Piece hype train, or hype boat should we say, of Volume 3. And the volume of this title is Don't Get Fooled Again, which is quite apt considering all of the things that go on. So yes, if you're this far so far, thank you for coming. Thanks again for staying. If you do like One Piece, we've got plenty more One Piece discussion on this channel. Give it a look, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Thanks. So this is volume 3 of 93. We're getting there. And yeah, it's gone off the screen. Yay. I am reading these on Comixology. I purchased, I think, volumes 1 to 25 just before the entire thing went on the Shonen Jump app. So I'm going to make use of this because, yes, I paid for these ones. Nothing against Shonen Jump app, I was just kind of like, yeah. So, this marks the end of the Buggy the Clown arc, has a small mini arc, and gets us into the next arc, which just gives us God Usopp. Yes, our favourite sniper finally makes his appearance, and I'm really excited to talk about it because Usopp is a great character. He's one of my favourite characters in the whole of the series. He's one of those ones where there's more to him than you might think. A lot of people didn't like him when they first read it, or they kind of read it and say, he's not as cool as Usopp's not as cool as Usopp. Usopp's not as cool as Zoro Sanji. And it's like, no, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Usopp's God. Usopp has he's the try-hard. He's the one who has to keep up with everybody else. Same with Nami. Nami doesn't get as much fights as Usopp, but Usopp's fights are always just gold. So first up, we end the Buggy the Clown arc, and we see the link between Buggy, Shanks and the Hat. So Buggy ends up attacking Luffy. He goes straight for Luffy's treasure because Luffy keeps going, it's my treasure, my hat's my treasure. He doesn't really make that mistake as much these days now. Just going, that's my treasure, which is one of those things where he kind of does evolve quite a bit from that, which is brilliant, love it. And yeah, it's quite interesting how the whole thing of treasures and stuff like that, we know they've got treasures, but they don't blurt it out to the villains as much. And I really kind of like that. So Buggy the Clown and Shanks sailed on the same ship, which turns out to be Gold Roger's ship, or Goldie Roger's ship. We see them getting told off by the first lieutenant. He won't return again. And it's kind of one of those things that's like, one of those things we start seeing these little seeds getting planted that you'll forget about, and then they'll come back, and then you'll be like, ah, and then you'll be like, ah. This is what One Piece is built out of, and this is one of the things I love about the series, where other series kind of have it where it's like, oh, a major villain will get defeated, but then they'll come back as an ally about 20 volumes later, and everyone's like, yay! One Piece is kind of one of those ones that's like, hey, remember that character we saw in that one panel? Yeah, he's the main character now, and everyone's like, yeah, yay! And then it's one of those things where the more you read One Piece, the more rewarding it is. And that's, in my opinion anyway, we've got huge story arcs kind of just crossing over in the background, worlds being built without us even realising. And this volume 3 is kind of where we start seeing them a little bit obviously. So Buggy kind of hates Shanks because because Buggy's an idiot. We'll leave it at that. I absolutely love Buggy, but he's such an idiot. He's brilliant. I love him. Shanks is just being Shanks. You know what it is? The more I kind of read Shanks, the less interesting of a character he is. He's just like, I'm a genuine goody. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I like to know what he's up to, but I'm kind of like, it's like, yeah, he's interesting kind of, but that's just me. I'm like, yeah, he's one of my. I wouldn't say he's not. I don't dislike him. I'm just kind of like he's not that particularly interesting. But like I said, he doesn't appear that much after this. He kind of appears once in the blue moon, which makes it so much more worth it for when he does appear. Right now, he kind of just appears quite often. So we have that. We kind of have the whole. It's kind of reminiscent of the first volume where the crew end up making a quick getaway, and then the people they've helped along the way kind of just thank them. And this is something that is echoed quite a few times, and especially for one of the most legendary scenes in the whole series. We kind of see. I'm not going to spoil it, but people will know when they kind of just go like that, which you probably can't see on the camera anyway. But yeah, that's probably one of the most legendary scenes in One Piece. Where no spoilers. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like I love the kind of way they kind of do it, where the people they help along the way see them off at the port, and it's kind of like we won't see them again. Probably will. We always will. It's One Piece. We will get to see them again. Another thing they have after this, which is quite interesting because this is actually different from the anime. The anime actually has this little. It's only like a chapter or two where they go to a mysterious island of animals. That's actually beyond Usopp in the anime, but it's early on in the manga, which I actually quite like. It's one of those ones where it's a weird chapter, but it's a nice chapter. There's not much more you can kind of really do about it. It's one of those ones, they go to this mysterious island of animals, then they meet a shrub man in the chest, and the man it's very much another kind of, a bit of a greedy situation. We kind of start seeing a lot of greedy pirates. We see Morgan, who loves himself. We see Alvida, who loves herself. We see Nami, who isn't a pirate, but is portrayed as being quite greedy. And we see Buggy, who is an idiot but is greedy. And we see another character who kind of is greedy, but has a very quick redemption. And it's a bit of an emotional one. And it's one of those ones, it's Gaimon's little island adventures, one of those things that I always kind of forget about when I look back on One Piece. But then when I read it, or when I'm reminded about it, I was like, oh yeah, I really did like that little arc. It's only like a chapter or two, but it's a nice little arc. But again, it's more kind of greed, the greed of man. And yeah, that's actually quite an interesting theme. Obviously, we're talking about pirates, so we're talking about greedy pirates and stuff like that. But yeah, I really kind of like the way they did it. We do have another kind of greed with the next character, the next bad guy. We go on to the next arc, and in fact about half of this volume is the next arc, and it's a little bit more of a meaty one. It's about 3 or 4 volumes long. I love this arc. Personally, in my opinion, this is the first really great arc in the series. The other ones are just a little bit too short, but this one I really enjoy. It's weird. We'll get more into it when we look into volume 4, but it's a weird arc because it's kind of like, yeah, we'll talk about the stuff that I kind of find weird in the next one. But the bad guy in this one, he's greedy because he wants the riches, but he wants the peace of mind. He wants to have this plan, follow it out, and he wants that peace of mind. It's another kind of greed. Peace of mind is always one of those things where you kind of use it to reassure people. Why not buy this now so you got peace of mind? Why not buy this cover so you got peace of mind? And in a sales tactic, it does kind of work. But when you kind of look at this, it's quite horrible the way he does it. It's like, for his peace of mind, everybody else needs to suffer. And yeah, so we come across another island in which we have a young boy who wakes everybody up on the morning shouting, "The pirates are coming, the pirates are coming, the pirates are coming." Spoiler warning, the pirates do come. We have the boy that cried wolf scenario, and it's one of those things that we kind of do see with early One Piece. We do see a lot of little fables, little stories, hand-me-down stories. Don't cry wolf, don't lie. Obviously with stuff like Hachiko, the dog who waited, or Greyfriars Bobby, the dog who waited. We do get a lot of kind of little short stories based on stuff we kind of already know, and I really do like the way they kind of portray that. This is a lovely little arc. We do get some great characters. We do get some not so great characters introduced. The Nyan Bian brothers. But we do get Django the Hypnotist, who is personally one of my favourite characters. I don't know why, he's so odd. Buggy the Clown's odd, but I'd say Django is even odder. He's kind of like a Michael Jackson kind of hypnotist kind of thing. Yeah, he's creepy, but it's funny as out, and yeah, he's a great character who we will see again and again. Like I said, we got Usopp, the teller of tales, and one of the things I do love about Usopp, which, slight spoiler warning, and it's something that I want you to check out when you are reading it, keep it in mind, just about every single one of Usopp's lies do come true in one form or another. We will go back to the lies later on, as and when they're covered, but yeah, nearly every single one of the things he tells does come true over the course of the series, so that is something for you to look forward to. And if you do like Usopp's lies, please let me know in the comments which of them you liked, but which of the lies you liked, but don't spoil it on how they came true, because that's for the people. But yeah, Usopp's lies, absolutely brilliant. So he tells these tall tales to a young, sick girl. We kind of see a kindred spirit between Usopp and this sick girl, Kaya. Usopp's family have gone. Kaya's family have gone. She's weak and sick. He's the weakest of the crew members. He's not sick, but he does have a lot of sicknesses. He'd say, I can't get off the island sickness, I can't do this sickness. We haven't seen that for quite some time, but yeah, Usopp has a lot of sicknesses. She has a lot of sicknesses. He wants to kind of tell her these stories to try and cheer her up. There is a little bit more in depth, but that's something that we will cover in volume 5 when it comes to it. So yeah, they do have a nice relationship, and to be honest, out of all of the characters in One Piece, I really do like them two together. I really hope they get together, because their bond is absolutely amazing. It's one of those ones that you do see through the whole series, and it's so amazingly well done. I love every part of them two together. And yeah, so this girl has a butler who, well, she has a few butlers and she has a few guards. And one of the butlers is kind of like, well, I don't like this son of a pirate kind of getting involved and stuff like that. And yeah, we see a little bit of stuff going on. So we see Django the Hypnotist, and honestly, this whole arc, the whole of the build up to this arc is just hilarious. There's a lot of really funny scenes, like Django trying to hypnotize somebody. He's like, oh, he shows these kids these hypnotism trips and say, 1, 2, Django, and you'll fall asleep. And then he falls asleep and they fall asleep, and it's just like, yeah, I love that he's got this weird little flaw to him. Honestly, volume 3 is an absolute delight to read. It ends the Buggy arc and it starts the Kuro arc, the Usopp arc, and yeah, I just really adore it. What do you think of volume 3? And like I said before, leave in the comments which of Usopp's lies you actually like the most. And yeah, I'll see you next time. If you've gotten this far, please leave a like, please consider subscribing, and we've got plenty more One Piece stuff around here, including some figures and some other stuff as well. Goodbye.